God bless you guys. This is Sean. Tomorrow, if I can, guys, please be with me and stick with me on here. I made a lot of notes. God inspired me to make a lot of notes. I found multiple dates in the Bible when I adjusted my numbers, like for 2027. I mean, if this was right, I'm not saying for sure it's going to happen, because don't get me wrong, I'm not prophesying like I was that time, where I'm saying you have to absolutely bank on it or anything like that. I'm taking precautions. But God encouraged me to keep seeking him, and he gave me a dream of a word, and I looked it up, and the word means to seek, basically, for numbers, to seek him for this, to seek him, to keep asking, to keep praying for him. I did that, and he gave me a lot of stuff, and I adjusted. And if this thing is correct, it answers a lot of questions, like King Hezekiah in the Bible, the 14th year of his reign, when the king of Assyria, which is likened to the Antichrist, when he comes up against the city, what year does he do it? Does he do it at the 42 months at the beginning or at the end? It tells you about when the second temple was destroyed. Both temples were destroyed on August 10th. You're going to understand August 10th. It relates to two witnesses. I found a lot of stuff in the Bible. Remember when I got cast into the belly of the whale in May 25th? I actually found May 25th in the Bible. I found things. This is crazy. I found lots of stuff, like tons of stuff. I found numbers when Jonah was the Ninevites came in and they destroyed that place Nineveh in 633, related to 2033, if this is right. I mean, I found tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff. And guess what? When those 3 days of darkness and those 5 month flood of that siege of army of locusts, well, I found when Jerusalem was besieged and the second temple was destroyed, this is what I found, that it was, they gave the numbers, but they said it was sieged for 5 months, and they said there were I'm trying to think of it, 3 days or something. You can find the 3 days and 5 months. You can find it in there. It's comparing it to the destruction of the second temple. I mean, there's startling stuff in the Bible that we've never thought of. And the king of Babylon and all that coming in. And it tells you how those people, those men, what they relate to, what they represent. I mean, we used to wonder about, we know about King Babylon representing certain things, but God has given revelations to us, and he said in the last days many would go to and fro seeking knowledge. Knowledge would be increased. It'd never be based on fleshly things. I found out that these days, even, they represent, like, on certain calendars, Elul, certain things. There's a days of preparation, day of the holy days, which represent 2027, the year of Jubilee in 2027. There's tons of stuff that I did not know that adjusted things and made them right. There were things that I wondered about putting. I'll share with you some things. When I do that, but if that whole thing did, and the two witnesses were killed, or not, I'm sorry, not killed, the 3 days of darkness happened on June 22nd. If it did on June 27th, I'm not saying it's going to, but if it did, that would be 23rd, 24th, 25th, and then the next day would represent like how 27th, it would have been of October 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th. That's 3 days of darkness. 27th to 28th is 1, 28th to 29th is 2, 9 to 30 is 3 days of darkness. And in that month, October 31st, which is today, Halloween, it would represent an additional day. So it'd be like the 3 days of darkness happening on the 22nd. The 22nd day was on the 27th. If it happened on June 22nd, 2027, it would be June 23rd, 24th, 25th. It would be 25th. And then the next day would kind of represent this Halloween. This next day, they would begin their preaching. And if they began their preaching all the way to that would take you up to December 7th, them being killed on that same day, them being raised on the 10th. And the reason why these numbers add in is because there's Bible verses that say after a certain date, you add that number in, and it gives you, what do you call it, it was August 10th, the destruction of the second temple. It lays out, the Bible has mathematic parallels from different things, and I'm not trying to say that for sure this is going to happen, but it's something to look at. And it would coincide with the Bible that says, remember, if they were killed on the December 10th and they were raised on the they're killed on the 7th, raised on the 10th. Remember, it says a tenth part of the city fell. They're killed on uh, after they're raised December 10th. A tenth part of the city fell. 7,000 men were killed. They're killed on the 7th. They were, as the 7,000 men which didn't bow the knee to Bel. The 7,000 men that are killed bow the knee to Bel, Satan, basically. The city was divided into 3 parts. Cities of the nations fell. That happens, they go up. A person was taken to heaven, and they saw when Jesus died on the cross. Satan, the temple was split, and Satan was cast out of it. So if this happens, when those 2 witnesses are killed, Satan begins fighting in heaven. When they're killed in December 2030, I mean, that would represent Christmas, and it goes with what the globalists are saying. They're expecting their whole globalist agenda to start. At least they have a globalist 20 December. They have a 2030 agenda. Well, that wouldn't happen until the end of 2030, but it would still it would be close to when the 2 witnesses are killed in December in 2030, if this is correct, and Satan would fall. And I remember kept relating this fall. I kept dreaming. I don't think I told you about that, but I had several dreams where I saw Satan falling. Well, this burning star that's falling represents the morning star, Satan falling out of the sun, like a solar flare falling out of the sun of God, falling down to earth. So when the 3 days of darkness happen, it prophetically shows that he's going to fall when those 2 witnesses are caught up. They're caught up, so to speak, when the 3 days of darkness first happen and they start preaching. And that's prophetic if they're going to physically be caught up after they're killed later. And when they're killed later, and December 7th, if this is right, if they're killed on the 7th, and then Satan would come down like that burning star. He would be cast down. He'd hit the ground. There'd be a 2-week shutdown. And that gives him exactly, from December 7th, those 3 days until they're raised up, that gives him 3 days until he's healed, 3 days. And then, trying to think, in 14, because it's a 2-week shutdown. 3 days, 2 weeks, and there's 14 days of those weeks. So 3, 2, 14. Trying to see if I can remember that. If I can add that up. The number basically came to 14. Oh, yeah. Okay. So 3 days he's cast down. If this happened, he would be cast down December 7th, 2030. If I'm not saying it will for sure, but if that was the case, as soon as he kills them, then he would have 3 days and a 2-week shutdown of that electricity, which would be 14 plus 3, that's 17 days. The 17 works of the flesh. He would have 17 days until his head wound is killed, and then they depict the new government coming on the scene like Ken Peters' vision saw. And everything. And moreover, there's something to show also that how, like I said, I wondered if the 2 witnesses, like I was told basically when these people go up, the people of God are going to have some protection after that time when the government starts, because in Ken Peters' dream, the government did not mess with them or try to kill them at the beginning of the dream. There was a time later when they issued the mark. Well, Jesus says he shortens the days. And if that was right, I'm not saying God told a man when he took him up to heaven once, Richard Sigmund, this guy died 8 hours. He woke up in a car accident. I mean, he woke up in the morgue. He died 8 hours. And Jesus told him just days and weeks before my return, my people will be given the awareness. I'm not saying the exact date, but I'm saying a kind of timeline frame. If that 2-week shutdown started from December 10th after they were raised up to life, they were raised from the dead. That's what Kim Peters saw. The dead rose, and then there was a 2-week shutdown. That'd bring us to December 24th, Christmas. And in the Bible, I looked at certain years, so he couldn't touch them until after December 24th, 2032. trying to think if I can see if I can remember this. There was a certain timetable. Anyways, I added it up, and it came up to exactly May 20. I believe it was May 25th, 2032 or 33 or something like that. I can't remember. So it was exact date when I was cast out. May 25th, I had my dream. So I'm going to look over these things with you. I'm not saying this for sure. Like I said, I'm not prophesying like I was before, but it's God tells us we're commanded to watch, where Jesus said if the good man of the house had watched, he would have known at what hour the thief would come. He tells us to watch like at the first watch, second watch, third watch. So these are watches. These are things we need to watch for. I'm just giving the heads up. I'll show you my notes, what I got later. All these notes are from the Bible. I was just studying Bible dates when certain things happened. And God has given this to me because it's related to the sign of Jonah. I'm not trying to find out when Jesus will return. I'm just trying to find a time frame when, what is the protection for the saints? God says he'll protect them, but so they can know where they stand, when do they finish the transgression. There's a mystery to that 70 days for your people, or what do you call it? Given to your people to basically end transgression. Well, there's that 70 year. It tells you a hint when that 70th year is up, for us to end a transgression, for us to be right. There's a mystery to this stuff. I'm just sharing with you some stuff. I'm making notes, guys. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, but God's given me, some stuff to look at. I'll show it to you later. It's a lot of notes, but it's pretty awesome. But anyways, I'm gonna let you go, guys. You can let me know your thoughts if you want it. Again, I'm not hardcore prophesying like the way I was before, but I'm saying let's look at this together, because that was too coincidental. All those things that happened, with me getting cast in on those dates, and I'm finding those dates when I had those dreams and stuff. Those dates even written in the Bible and stuff. That's what's shocking about it. But anyways, I'll let you go, guys. Until next time, shalom.